Hi, thanks for coming back to my channel. Today we will be talking about Granit Xhaka and the latest news today of him potentially being offered a new contract. If this is your first time coming to my channel, please subscribe. There'll be a lot more coming, especially as we ramp up towards the beginning of the season. If you like the video, or if you've liked any or like any of the other videos that you've watched, please like, share as well. So yeah, we're gonna talk Xhaka. Let's get into it. Okay, so obviously, we know about the kind of whole Xhaka situation at the moment. For those that maybe not aware, there's a lot of animosity towards him from Arsenal fans because he has, in the past, told Arsenal fans to F off, and apparently through the captain's armband, and he's also thrown his shirt on the ground. Apparently, if you go back and watch the video, which I'll try to link up here or up here somewhere, you will see that he has thrown the captain's armband to Aubameyang, who didn't catch it and fell on the floor, and he took his shirt off and dropped it on the floor. So it was not exactly like he was slamming the shirt down on the ground in anger or anything like that. And listen, I am not for Xhaka. I am not against Xhaka. I am not, I've always said the player is nowhere near or ever bigger than the club. So this is not me being a pro Xhaka or anything like that. But let's just keep it real and let's just say what happened. So there was that whole incident that has come off the back of him being booed for a number of games leading up to the incident in question. But then also prior to that, there was also lots of abuse on social media of him. His wife had to kind of take down her social media account because of the abuse she was getting. Xhaka just had a baby and people were wishing awful things on his child. And, the way he was treated by Arsenal fans is just not acceptable. And most people you will find will have a very similar reaction to those people that abuse. And so here's the thing. It's funny to me that we can have a nuanced, very specific way of looking at the abuse he was receiving. I've spoken to plenty of people who've said, oh, but they're not real Arsenal fans. Real Arsenal fans don't abuse their players. It's okay to be critical, but we don't have to talk about people's families and that kind of thing. And it's 100% accurate. But we're saying that those people aren't Arsenal fans. So when Xhaka is in a stadium with thousands of people booing him and he's having to deal with all of this abuse online and all of that sort of thing, and he tells people to F off, we can't then apply the same nuanced position and viewpoint of, well, actually, he's just telling those people to F off. Anyway, moving on. So Roma have been kind of messing around recently. They've been offering, a pittance, to be honest. We're talking about a player who, whether you rate him or not, has had 4 Premier League seasons, maybe five Premier League seasons. He has consistently been top 8 for passes into the final third for progressive passing. It was top for progressive passing into the final third last season. He's a player who can control tempo, who can kind of slow the game down, speed it up when it's needed. So he's able to kind of kill opposition momentum while developing momentum for his own side. A player who is happy to just sit and cover space and allow the players around them to go press and intercept and that kind of thing, knowing that he doesn't have the mobility maybe to come out and press and get back into cover space. And so he's a very self-aware player. He does, as best as possible, play to his strengths. Are there weaknesses? Of course there are weaknesses. Every player has weaknesses. But I feel like he is very aware of those weaknesses, and they're not really something he can change so much. You can work on speed, but you're not going to get dramatically quicker. And so just being able to play his game and try to fit into a system where he's allowed to kind of show his strengths, I think he's done fantastically well. I also believe that if a player doesn't want to be at the club, then you don't keep him at the club. I mean, I can't see any benefit to that. Xhaka has always, in terms of his behavior with the team, has always been professional. He may not have been professional towards fans before. I get that, but he hasn't exactly gone fighting with players and arguing with players and calling players out in public and, you know, all of the kind of other stuff that you see a lot of people do. So will he didn't get his move to Roma. Will he throw his toys at the pram? I don't think so. I think he'll get his head down, he'll work and try to get himself a move for January or for next summer. So looking at things now, as I said, a 13 million, 14 million pound offer for a player of Xhaka's caliber with his experience is ridiculous, and good on Arsenal for not accepting it. I think there are plenty of players who have gone for much higher fees that have had very little Premier League experience. I seem to remember Ryan Brewster last year at Liverpool, 25 million to Sheffield United, and had very little Premier League experience. Then you're talking about Gueye, who's just gone from Chelsea to Palace for 18 million and hasn't played a Premier League game. You know, and then you're talking about Xhaka, who has played most games for a number of years, is an international captain who played extremely well in the Euros, and we're saying that we should be accepting that kind of an offer? No chance. Wouldn't even listen to it. So good on Arsenal again for taking that stance. The contract extension is an interesting one. And personally, what I think will happen is they will offer him a 1-year contract. And that 1 year is just so that he can't just leave on a free for next year. I think they'll offer him the 1-year contract. And I think Arteta has probably seen Azeez is coming through and is looking like he's going to be a real player. Sambi looks like he's almost ready to start playing regular minutes. So I think he's looked at this situation and gone, listen, if we can get Xhaka to sign another year, he can play for the year and give Azeez and give Sambi some time to kind of, you know, get up to speed with everything. And then they will take over that place next season as a solid partner for Partey. If we can get him to extend for a year now, then at the end of next year, there's 2 years left in his contract, and then we are not forced to have to sell at a very low price. We still hold the cards when it comes to negotiating a price for him. And based on his current form, based on his form in the Euros, if he can continue that going into next season, it's only going to strengthen Arsenal's position in terms of the league, especially only playing 1 game a week. But then also it could strengthen their hand in terms of more teams being willing to pay the 20 million that Arsenal have asked for him. So, you know, looking at it kind of objectively, as I say, I don't believe any player is bigger than the club. So I'm not a sort of Xhaka apologist. I'm not, Xhaka in at all costs, and I'm not someone that's going to defend him and, desperately want him at the club. I've already said, I think if he wants to leave, then he should be allowed to leave, but the money has to be right. So looking at the whole thing as it's happening, I think Arsenal have done a very good job. It shows that the people in charge, contrary to what you'll hear from sections of the Arsenal fandom, do actually know what they're doing in terms of the business, and have made mistakes and are learning from those mistakes and are trying to get it right. So again, hats off. If you've enjoyed my take on this subject, if you're enjoying any of the other videos, please like, please share, please comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you want to see, what you want me to talk about. I'm happy to jump on and talk about it. You can also get involved with some conversation with me on my social media. That's sensible_gunner on Twitter and on Instagram. And if you are liking the content, please subscribe, please share, There's a lot more coming, especially as signings are starting to be made and the season's just around the corner. So thank you for taking the time to watch. And as always, come on, you Gunners.